Allan Aguirre with your Incorruptible 2-minute warning. Cheers. It's Thursday morning. It's December 23rd, isn't it? Yeah. I'm on the hunt for Central American tamales just because I don't want to give anybody the impression that we observe the Mass of Christ, because we don't. But there's a tradition that we've had since I lived in Guatemala, and that's you eat tamales on the 24th and the 31st, just because. And so we do. Go ahead and judge me. I dare you. All right, so we're talking about my Jesus. And we had a hacky Tuesday, and yesterday I couldn't be here. We had a hacky Tuesday. I was trying to show you my screen with the book excerpts about when Jesus was actually born, out of this book. And it was hacky because I don't know what I'm doing yet with this new fandangled technology and getting... All right, but you should have gotten the gist that based on what we know from the Old Testament and what King David established as far as the rotation of the Levitical priests, we know when John the Baptist was born, and we know that 6 months later Jesus was born. So based on that, we know that Jesus was born during Sukkot, the Feast of Tabernacles. He was in a sukkah, not a manger. He was in a booth, Anyway, and so just because they weren't in Jerusalem, right? Because they had to go to Bethlehem that year, but it was during the feast. That's why they had those. But anyway, we've talked about the various things about my Jesus in the past, about how he didn't bring a new religion. He didn't come here with a new religion. He didn't bring. He didn't change Judaism. He didn't change any of that. No, what he did was he showed up and said, "Hey, look, this is the way it's always been. This is the way my father set it up, and my father set it up through Moses. And I'm just here to remind you that how you're doing it isn't correct. It's wrong. Here's why it's wrong. Here's how it's supposed to be." The new covenant, we'll talk about that tomorrow, because the new covenant that he's talking about is the new covenant that Jeremiah spoke about. And I think Jeremiah 31 or something like that. We'll do that tomorrow.
The views and opinions expressed during our broadcasts are solely those of the broadcast producers, hosts, and/or guests, etc., and are not necessarily the views or opinions of the Travelog Network, its sponsors, or affiliates.